importance of that subtle energy that we have and working with it, being aware of it.
Hi, Chi. Good afternoon, Chi. Welcome.
Afternoon, Chi.
Thank you. Morning, Jesse. Morning, Alison. Joe, Heinz.
Hello. You know when you were saying that, Alison, on judgment, like that reminds me of what Alan said on the call. It's as soon as we judge, that's when the emotion gets generated. So without the judgment, there's no emotion generated. So by seeing that and not judging it and viewing through compassion. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, and so what comes to me with that is how useful charge is again, right? So are you going to, with that energy, are you going to attach to a negative, neutral, or positive charge?
So to make emotions simple, we can view them as a charge. We can assign a charge to them. Because otherwise, if you say emotions, it's like there's a potential of words that you could put in there. And we get lost in our practice of awareness. Therefore, if we look at our charge, it's only positive, negative, and neutral. We can say, oh, what is this charge?
Yes, because that gives us our direction or our orientation.
And it opens the space to be present, to be aware of what is the real emotion that's just trying to give you information.
And that information is your emotions are information based upon what you're thinking.
What you're thinking is based upon how you're feeling at the moment.
Yeah, but what comes first? I think it's the head first, isn't it? It's all in the head.
Well, when I'm asked that question, I go to which one developed first?
The heart developed first, right?
But either way, right? Check this out. This guy broke this down. He said, "Look, your thoughts, they're the electric, yeah. Your mind's the electric, and your emotions and your feelings is the magnet. So that's what makes us electromagnetic. You know, electromagnetic beings. But it's getting them lined up, getting them aligned."
But magnets have a charge.
Yeah, that's it. How intense is that charge? How intense is that electric? Do you know, like we can increase that, and that's our vibration, isn't it? Wow. Oh, yo, this is beautiful times we're living in, man. I'm telling you, it's exciting. I can feel it, man. The energies are strong.
Interesting. Very interesting conversation. Well, so our beliefs is a charge, yeah?
But that's it, though. But that's it. Going back to feeling like, so that's it. If we're feeling crummy, that's like an indicator. What are my thoughts saying? Do you know?
Well,
Because
our
obviously you
focus
can
now.
tune in because with our thoughts and our mind, we can tune in to any frequency or vibration consciously. Like we're not just like a rose where we can only be a rose. We can be anything, do have anything. And that's based upon, you know, what we're broadcasting and transmitting. But that's it, is being it to see it. Yeah, this is big, man. This is big stuff.
Chi, what were you going to ask? Remember?
I was thinking that our belief is our charge.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You can
And-
also
and-
call it attachment.
And to reprogram our subconscious, we have to consciously choosing our focus point,
Yes.
and then by doing repetition, and then we create new patterns, new belief system, new.
Yes.
That's it.
The beliefs are what we attach to, and what we're saying is, oh, that's our truth. Now, it's a subjective truth that was never really examined.
Mm-hmm.
So we can say, well, is it this truth or is it in a absolute fundamental truth? That opens the potential, the space for potential between them. And that is because as soon as you are aware of the belief, the way you've attached to it, now you can be unattached.
Mm.
There's no other space to be unattached before.
And a good way to expand that belief is just by simply asking, what's a different belief? That
Yes.
one word, different. How can I look at this differently? What
Yep.
how could I, what's the because we basically come to that conclusion at a young age and we just sat on it and then moved on, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
So now it's noticing that, going back to when it originally happened and then redeciding or reconcluding.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so powerful, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like,
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
it's like when I do some of these mindset exercises, like it's like I'm doing like a manual version, and then but I can see how like the super conscious recode, like and the 5 steps and the steps or whatever. I see how it's like working on a manual basis, and then it's like I'm getting why, like when we used to do like super conscious recodes, like in group scenarios, like that's what I always loved about that we could have thousands of people all with their own choices, all with their own unique resistance shifting, you know, and to be able to like accommodate in that situation.
Absolutely. Yeah. It depends on whether we say
yeah.
why or what or how.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, even with that different question, like what's different, like that's one of the questions they ask in the 5 steps. Like when you've got your future reality and your present reality, what's different? What's different here? You know, and it's such an expansive question.
Yes.
To because basically we've not looked at it differently. We've just got stuck with one conclusion. Do you know?
Yeah, when we say
like,
good or bad, or right or wrong, it's based on something from the past.
Exactly.
It's not the truth.
That's it. But I mean, like me personally, it's like when it looks good or bad, in the back of my head, I've always got like, I don't know how, but this is actually working to my advantage all the time. Do you know, like that's like there, do you know, or like close to becoming into my awareness if I've forgotten. Yeah, this is working out to my advantage. And I'm always looking for turning like losses into gains, you know. But thinking, yeah, and knowing it's all to my advantage. And there's that story of this guy, and like he didn't want his son to go to war, and next day he's like he was in China and that, and next day like he fell off a horse, and everyone in the community was like, "Oh, that's terrible, isn't it? He's broken his leg," and he's like, "Well, it could be good or it could be bad. Maybe we'll see." Do you know? Like, do you know what I mean? Or like maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. Do you know what I mean? Like time will tell. Next day, Army comes in, takes everyone apart from his own son because he'd broken his leg. Do you know what I mean? And then everyone in his community is like, "You're so lucky." He's like, "Maybe I am, maybe I'm not." Do you know what I mean? But like, it's all leading to the divine location. Do you know, even if our head can't comprehend it.
Mm. And then he lost his horse. And everybody said,
That's it. The story goes on and on.
That's
Good morning, Sindrell, and welcome to Fireside.
Good
Yes,
morning.
Sindrell.
The fire is popping.
Good
Crackling.
morning, Sindrell.
Good morning. Good morning. Grand rising, beautiful souls. Grand rising.
Grand risings. Let's go.
Yeah. That's on that one.
How you feeling today, Sidrell?
I'm feeling pretty good. I woke up late. Is that good or is that bad? It's good.
Well, you'll find out later.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
It's working out
Either
for
way.
my good.
Either way, it's all to your advantage.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
I like the questioning that you guys are doing about your old operating system. One of the questions that gives me space is, what is it? What would someone have to believe for that to be true?
Thank you.
The truth doesn't need to be backed up, you know. It can stand by itself.
Yeah. Like it doesn't, it kind of in a unsneaky way, like puts the old thoughts in a hot seat, but it's not about you. It's not about your values being attacked, but it's what would someone have to believe for that to be true? And it just gives breath to searching. Well, what would someone have to believe for that to be true? Is, and those beliefs can come through you, but it doesn't have to be you. So your subconscious doesn't go into defense mode.
Yeah.
Like under attack. Like, I don't want to find out I'm wrong for believing that.
Right or wrong, doesn't matter.
Yeah, but sometimes our ego is so.
Oh, yeah.
It just wants to hold on and be right,
The question I like is, how does this serve me?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because like the story Joe told, the broken leg served the son by not serving in the army. So it was neither good or bad. It was just something happening. And
It's
that
the
takes us.
reminder of,
Yeah, sorry.
I think the story is a reminder of, to keep us awareness on the neutral.
Yeah. Sort of like what Allison's master said, or teacher. If you look at it as good or bad, you're missing it the whole point.
Mm.
It's like you're limiting the experience of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're not seeing it for what it really is.
Mm.
And probably for what it could be too, when I think of it.
And the way to go around is to use our feeling as a guiding stone. What do you say?
Mm. So I'll share something again, also from a session that I did a few days ago, working the model with the person, and I got a text last night from her to say that I can't remember now the first concept. I think the first thing was we just uncovered a very fundamental childhood pattern. You know, those 3 questions of Jesse's about one word for your childhood. What is the opposite of that? And what did you do when you couldn't get either number 2 or number 1? You focus on the constrictive experience in those 3 questions, right? So I had those 3 questions for her, and then I worked the concept of constriction versus expansion. And so the note came back that she's continued working the fundamental pattern, but then something new came up. And she explained how she worked constriction and expansion. And when she had the awareness of the constriction and she sat with it, she got awareness, allowing, and accepting. And that brought the expansion that she needed. And that's so much part of the conversation this morning.
That was good. It's like she got space.
Huh?
I said it's like she got space in a place that was like a solid metal
Yeah.
bound together. She was actually able to unravel and give space in between the molecules of that metal.
Yeah.
And realize I got choices, I got options, I can move. There's agility in here, and I got choices. That sounds really good. What was her physiology changing? How was her physiology changing in that process?
I don't know because it was sent in a text.
Oh,
As we're questioning things, we are creating more space.
Yes.
You know, like my daughter's moving, and she, you know, she took, like, she has some things of my mother that she gravitated to when she moved things out of my mom's house. And so she moved into an apartment. So she had those things. And she's moved again. And now she's getting ready to move again. And she was like, Mom, I'm going to have to let some things go. And I immediately enforced help, you know, supporting, releasing her to release those things. Because she, you know, she felt like I got the energy that she felt like she had to kind of like say, Mom, I'm not going to be able to take that chair with me, you know. And her feeling the heaviness of her saying that, I said, oh no, honey, it's, you know, Mimi would want you to be light and free. You know, you took it for the time that it supported you to be close to her. I said, but you know, Mimi ain't in no chair. She more and more in your heart than anywhere, you know? So we talked about it and talked, you know, I just let her express herself about it and how she felt, you know, about those pieces and why she took them, and how she feels now. And I said, well, is Mimi in the chair? She was like, she said, no, not really, but it reminds me of her and her comfort and stuff. I said, well, you know, my motto is when you got to let it go, take a picture of it, put it in an album, it will bring back the same feeling when you're ready for it. So her birthday's coming up. I said, well, let's do this if you want to. Cut a panel of the fabric out of the chair and let the chair go and give me the fabric. And when the time is right, I'll encase it in a piece of art for you. She said, oh, that's it. I said, okay, now you can let it go. So,
Great.
yeah. So I'll do her a fabric collage and use that piece of fabric.
Talk about the creative process. Eh?
Yeah, 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 yeah. And I just saw a piece of artwork when I was in the Atlanta airport. It was I forgot. Oh, it was like quilted artwork of different variations and sizes. Like, I loved how it was totally not just a bunch of it wasn't the quilted patchwork squares. It was literally figurative artwork, almost of a sculpturing sense. So I get, you know, was it good or bad that I had a flight delay? Who knows? But I got a chance to see the artwork that was actually displayed in the airport, and provide me with that option to offer her to release the physical weight of things. Because she was like, well, I could put it in storage. I said, no, you're young. You don't need to carry those bags of every year of your life with you. No, let it go. It'll be all right. At least I support you flying as light as you want to and taking only what serves you now. My mother, I was actually in Atlanta. I was in Atlanta living, and my mom didn't say a whole lot of things, but parents have such power in the things that come out of their mouths. And it could seem insignificant, but I was in between, like it was my first marriage. I didn't want to, of course, be a failure. I wanted to be strong and resilient in marriage. I wanted to keep the marriage sacred. I didn't want to tell like all my business of the marriage, because what happens between a husband and wife is between a husband and wife, right? So, my mom but I was contemplating the reality of, I'm gonna have to divorce this dude. This is over. This is done with. This is, and dealing with all of the social, like, you know, impl perceived implications of having married the wrong dude, such a big phenomenal mistake, and blah, 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 blah. All of this heaps and mountains of innuendo of being divorced, right? And with child, oh, your marriage is gonna fall apart, your family's gonna fall. You guys get it. So then I was on the phone with my mom, and she told me, she said, well, I was gonna divorce your father, but he died first. My mother was gonna divorce, back then. And these are more modern times. I was like, it's like a big one of them skeleton keys unleashed a lock that was over my head, and it opened the lock, and the chains just dropped to the floor under my feet. Just in that one sentence. It gave me movement, life, and breath, and freedom to, you got this, Central. Go to the lawyer, get the papers started, at least meet lawyers. And it's just like, oh, I'm done with this. The power of a mother's tongue or a father's tongue. And sometimes we don't realize that power that we have. So we have to be, we're nurturing even our adults' children.
Yes.
And ourselves, because that's it. Like, I was talking about this the other day. Remember, Alison, enmeshment, getting stuck on stages in timeline. Does that correlate? Because I've lost myself again.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
What you were talking about was the extreme, the one extreme of a continuum of relating. So enmeshment or codependency is at one end.
Yeah. That's what you just reminded me. Thank you. Yeah, so that's it. So our voice to, like, even an adult, like, at the emotional age, but like, what emotional age are we at? And that's it in the world. Like, our emotional intelligence age is being stumped, hasn't it?
Can be, right?
It can be stumped. And but then we get in, but that's it, like, even to ourselves, like, talking to ourselves and our younger version, like that, and it has so much power there as well, doesn't it? Powerful, man.
So you know what, Joe, even with your example of enmeshment, if you think about the concept of constriction and expansion, what does enmeshment feel like to you?
Probably constriction.
Okay, so a better question would be, or a better suggestion would be this. So when you brought it up last time, there was a question for you. You kept on saying, you don't know if that is what happens for you, and you were questioning how close you and your mom are. So the reason why I'm bringing this in is because I am really experiencing the value of all these shortcuts that have been developed in the group, right? And that experience of something being constrictive or expansive is such a fast shortcut to whether it is something that is serving you.
Sorry, cut off at experiencing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, cut off at experiencing. I didn't hear what you said. It cut off on my side.
Oh, sorry. So the question to ask oneself when you don't know if something is the way that it's being described is to ask oneself, well, what am I experiencing in this relationship?
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily the whole relationship, right? It's usually better to go with parts of the relationship because they're different parts of ourselves. And sometimes people, and ourselves included, we can relate in a very expansive way with a certain part of ourselves, but another part of ourselves relates in a very constrictive way.
Definitely.
And so while those concepts of enmeshment and codependency, they're very useful, but for me, I think they can be presented as one truth, and they're not.
Yeah.
And that's the difference for me.
Yeah, for sure.
That's good. It presents as one truth, and it's not the whole.
Yeah.
Well, it is one truth, your truth, but it isn't the other one's truth.
That too.
And the truth you're getting is also depending on your charge that day.
Absolutely. And that's why I'm saying it's not just one truth. It's made up of many moments and many different facets and reflections.
Yeah. Many possibilities.
Mm-hmm. That too, for sure.
And we can only see it with one perspective at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's definitely definitely that's right. There's parts to it, that's expansive and that's constrictive, but I know it's all beautiful and it's all as it's meant to be. So yeah, I'm just being aware of it because like the point of like going from like a boy to a man, there's a transition, and I literally don't feel 38. Do you know what I mean? I don't feel it. Like, yeah, but it's all good though. Like, maybe I want to feel young. Do you know what I mean? I do feel young, but I look young as well. Like, if I shave my beard off, I get ID banned for cigarettes. So Right.
Joe, good Joe. What happens when you get old?
What's gonna happen when I get old? Is that what you said?
You know, what happened? Like what about getting old?
What that I'm not a fan of? Well, at the start, I just never really thought like I've just never felt old. Don't feel old.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's like,
What is
where is my emotional age? Do you know?
maybe? I don't. I think it's still hidden. I think there's something in resisting being old.
Is it being
Mm.
old or being sovereign?
But it's just I've probably never thought about being old because you just
There you go. There you go. What's wrong with it?
what's wrong with it?
It's the opposite of the young, right? It was like, oh, you were focused on being like looking young, like younger. So to me, there was a resistance to old. That's all the awareness that I was bringing into.
Yeah, I think there's an awareness to old. Oh, not an awareness. There's a resistance.
I've heard men don't get old, we just become more responsible.
Okay. Again, that's a matter of perspective.
Yep.
Because then we can challenge, oh, men. What about women?
Well, I can't
And if,
talk for women. I don't know how
well,
women feel.
well,
That's why
do
you
you know
two
how
can answer
men
that.
feel? You know how you feel.
Yep.
And I was thinking as you were saying that, I said, yeah, wait until you're in your 70s shoes. Will you subscribe in energy of you being yourself being old or being young? Will it be neutral? And in being old, if you accept that adage, or older, is it negative? Or is it you living your best life now? So it's relative to how you choose to believe and perceive.
Mm.
So
You're
something.
old. Go ahead.
I agree with that, Sandra. But I have the same. It resonates for me what you said. Put it that way. There's something that also came up for me with Jesse working with Joe. So Jesse picks up the resistance to the opposite, which is old.
Mm-hmm.
And I quip in between and say, is it old that he is wanting, or is it sovereign, or is it being sovereign that he wants? And so what I realized then was, when we work with that concept of the opposite, and we realize we have a resistance to it, then we can't easily get to what we really want, because our subconscious is somehow resisting the journey that we have to take to get to the middle of young and old is being an integrated adult.
Yes. Yes. And if you have that heavy resistance, for example, of being old, it really becomes like a focus.
Yeah, without one realizing, right? We're unaware.
Yeah. And you become more of that thing that you don't want to become.
Yeah.
Because that's what your focus is. And so instead of allowing the harmony of sovereignty, like you could just skip sovereignty. So I'm so glad you like put that sign up for sovereignty. You could miss like the fountain of eternal existence if you miss sovereignty.
Exactly.
Because you're looking at old.
Yeah.
That you're
Question.
resisting.
What does that word mean, sovereignty or sovereign?
It means independence.
Oh,
You know, and Joe's questioning for himself was, am I a man or am I still a boy? And he was, you know, it was a tussle for him. This is important to him. He's got an awareness of something. And so what Jesse did was take him to the opposite so that he could find the middle.
he's doing the right thing then. He's questioning it.
Mm-hmm.
If you want new answers, you've got to come up with new questions.
Mm-hmm.
That's the importance of working with others, because we can get locked in that, oh, I don't even see, I'm only looking one way, I'm only holding, I'm only attached to seeing it one way. And so I look at the opposite. I saw the view as holding on to younger, like, and so then it's like, okay, well, then what's resisting is, well, maybe, or someone could have the resistance of seeing themselves older. There could, as a child, could create some belief that they're not going to get older and they're going to hold on to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that will cause internal, like that causes something inside of us.
Yeah.
That could cause a whole lot of stuff, like being younger. I'm just throwing it around. Being younger is someone else is always going to take care of stuff. Being younger is not growing in accountability. Being younger is
Could be being younger doesn't means that you don't have to die.
yeah, like your skin won't wrinkle up.
And it could mean I'm going to hold on to younger, right? So that no one gets older.
That's right. That's exactly it.
And what
So
are you? How do
is
you
it,
know when you're older? How do you know when you're younger? Is it the physical or is it the spirit being of the person?
it comes to, I think it all comes to the truth. It's like, well, can you hold on to it so that you don't get older? Is that the truth? Is that an absolute fundamental truth? No, it's just the belief that was put in place, that a child put in place. It says, Mom, I'm not going to let you get older.
Yeah.
So if I stay young, you'll stay young.
That's right.
Now, is that likely the case? I don't know. That's what's there for me.
And that's one thing that could be there for somebody else.
That's the importance of people using their own words.
Mm.
And that's the importance of sharing those words
Yes.
so they can one, be expressed, and two, be self-enlightened on what are these words really meaning in me, and not just letting them scapegoat by and hovering on something that doesn't support your continual present being freedom.
Mm.
Sometimes you can be around people and they call themselves like knowing you or your friend or whatever, and they'll just let you kind of get away with anything. And I have very few friends other than this call that they catch me up on my crap. I'm like, yeah, that's good awareness. Let me think about that. you know? Where did that come from? Oh, you're going to opening up a can of worms. Yeah, let's open up that can of worms. Some protein in there. What else is in there? So yesterday I had to go shovel my car out. And a little change happened. I allowed a little change happen in me. It's like I have to do everything pretty much myself. Right, 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 wrong. So I went out and shoveled my car out, and my older neighbor came out and he started assisting me. Now, there was a lot going on in that. He's much older than me, and I didn't want him doing too much to exasperate himself, but I appreciated his help. And I had to let that go. Because really, he was more agile than me out there doing what needed to be done. And he brought something to wipe the car off with, like I had, and he brought a shovel. So my car's in a parking lot. So when they call themselves clearing the parking lot, they shove all of the snow right up in, front of the parking spaces of the car. So now you got all of this hard, bricky snow to shovel out from in front of the car. And so there was this thing of me being a woman and he being a man, and like he wasn't going to let me do the shoveling, the manly stuff, and I wasn't going to let him do the shoveling because he was old. But it wasn't like out loud. It was just a courtesy thing of us, of an ebb and flow there. And I was like, relinquish, Syndrome. And he said, "Oh, you did quite a bit. Let me finish." Okay, here. And then I went and did something else, right? So it was a process of recognizing that I had a tightness around something, but in the process of being, I was allowing space.
Maybe it's also helping him, keeping him active, and helping him by helping you,
Yep,
keeping
all of
him
that.
engaged with the human connection.
Yep, all of that.
Yeah. That's a beautiful story, Sindrel.
Yeah.
It's something that happens quite often, you know.
Hmm. Yeah. And so I came in the house. Thank you for saying that, Allison. I came in the house and I often have this question of, the on one extreme is I I'm open for love and a partner, but it's like, do I really want to have somebody in my space because I don't want to be anything than who I am, and I don't want to irritate anybody with my little antics because I'll use dishes and I'm at this point, I'll wash dishes once a day.
Yes.
And some people are like, every time something go to the sink, it's got to be washed and put up. No, I'm not doing that 40 times a day. I'm not doing that. So I do what I do. And sometimes I look at the sink and I go, you are one person. Where did all those dishes come from? Because I like to cook and prepare and, use clean utensils every time, but it's a lot. And I was like, some people are, like, I'm not dirty, but my orderliness is my order.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to live. I know I don't want to live with someone who my flow of being is where they're like, she left her sweater on the couch again. I'm not going to live in that kind of environment. I'm going to say, you know what? Here's your bag. Bye. Because I like peace and harmony. So but I know I will be considerate, but I want to make sure that I'm not being over considerate at the expense of my peace.
Mm.
Mm.
At the expense of my
That's it.
creative flow. Mm-hmm.
If it costs you peace, it's too expensive.
Yeah. I
There you
second
go.
that.
Yeah.
That's such a great point, though. Like, where the heck did the dishes come from, man? It's like I'm like I'm the chief washer upper at my house. Yeah, I've like that's been like one of my duties. And but like, where did they come from? These plates, yeah, that's it. Where did they come from? But that's it. We've also got that same situation. Like, we ain't washing up every single dish in for because it comes. Like, it's a one wash your up only situation. Do you know what I mean? Can't be spending his life washing up, can we? But like the funny thing is, like, if I don't wash up, my mum, like, it affects her mood. So like now this year, I'm like, right, that's it. Every year, every night before I go to bed, I gotta wash up. Do you know what I mean? And I've been doing it. I've been doing it, man. So yeah, but that's it. Just let the washing up stack up, man, and get it done in one go.
Yeah, I like
But
getting it done in one go. But you say when you don't do it, who it affects whose mood?
his mom's.
Or my mum's.
Yeah.
So
Life.
then you
Yeah.
are creating a good start to the
She,
morning.
she don't want to come down to
A messy kitchen.
to washing up
Yeah.
because he does make a big um one second.
The start of your day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I clean my kitchen at night because when I wake up, when I go into the kitchen, I like a clear kitchen. So I do it at night.
Yeah.
Leave all the counters cleaned off and there's no dishes in the sink, and I wash dishes and sit them in the dishwasher. I don't really run my dishwasher. I use it as my dish drain. But midday, like about 3 o'clock, I will have had at least coffee. I will at least have had like a sandwich or something, or pulled out some leftovers. And that's, warming up and utensils. And don't let me get creative and want to bake a cake in the middle of the day. So it accumulates.
Yeah.
So, Cinderella, I'm going to circle back to your question, and it's not really important, but it's an alternative, I think, and it takes me back to your question a while back of maybe love doesn't look the way that you thought it should.
You remember that one?
Mm-hmm. Which is such a great question.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so what I want to introduce is, we don't always, especially after a certain period in life, have to live together with a partner.
Oh, but I want him to be in.
Yeah, but they talk.
Hey, Joe. I see you.
Hey, we got Isla. We got Isla in the house. Can you see us?
I can
Yeah.
see you.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Isla. So wonderful to
beautiful.
see you.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, what a beautiful.
Isla's in the house, man. I'm just dropping her off at her mate's when she wants to say hi.
Aww. That sounds like such fun.
Happy
You have
New
such
Year.
a beautiful tone. You have a beautiful tone in your voice. I love it. Look at
We're
that
going out
snow.
You see the snow, yeah?
Ooh.
You see the snow? It's proper snowy out here, man. I'm telling you.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I've only been stuck a few times. It was so funny the other day, Isla, yeah, she was so determined to go sledging the other day with a mate, yeah. She was like, well, if you're not driving, Dad, I'm going to walk. And it was like a good 2-3 mile, and she's so determined. And I was like, oh, there's no chance I'm walking. So literally we started driving. And we had half the neighborhood pushing us out of my drive, bless them. But yeah, Isla was not taking no for an answer. You were going sledging, weren't you, babe?
fun today as well.
And now she's going today as well.
Oh. Now there.
Yo, guess what? Guess what as well? Yeah, Isla's been going acting for the last 2 years. Yeah, every single week. Like she's next level at it. She proper loves it. I mean, she does football as well. She's in the next level football team. But tell them about what happened at your place.
I got into the agency.
Wow.
They want her in the agency now, don't they? Do you know what I mean? Because the thing is, Isla, because she's always wanted to like do films and stuff. So I'd like make YouTube videos with her, but she's like, no, I want the big cinema, Daddy, the big one.
Wow.
Wait,
Yo, she's a super manifester, our Isla.
I'm so entirely impressed with her vision, and her energy is not like in a bag, it's in outer space. I want the big one, Daddy. But I'm really focused on, are you eating a Twizzler?
She got
that
some
a
nice. She brought some.
I
She brought some nice sweets with her. What is that? What it's called in America? Twizzlers, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
got
I
sweet
love
devils.
Twizzlers.
Oh, I know. I love them too. I couldn't resist. I was like, Isla, give me some of that. But it's all
Nice and
gone now.
well.
So yeah, I just
Kim?
wanted to
I put my
just bring.
video on so I can
Yeah, we got
give you a
Cinderella in
good
the
morning.
house. Cinderella in the house.
Daddy, no, school might not be on tomorrow and the next.
Yeah, Isla's been not at
I
school, man.
somehow
You're
have
like,
lost
school-
sound. Have you guys lost sound?
No.
Can you hear?
Yeah, I hear.
I'll turn it.
So
Hey,
yeah,
Jesse.
man, blessed.
We hear you. Good
Oh, we
morning.
got Jess in the house. That's it. That's it. Now Isla's
She
put
brought
camera on.
Jessie
Everyone's putting
out.
the cameras on. We can see real faces. Yeah.
Number one.
Oh, who's this? Yes, we got Heinz in the house. He's not even related to the beans manufacturers. We love Heinz beans in the UK. Right, Alison's been shy now. She's tested. Oh look, someone's hit that lamppost. That lampost's been bent over. Oh my days! This is where Isla walked all this way last time because I couldn't get her this far when I dropped her off the other day.
A big hill.
But the road's been all cleared up now.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna get out
Oh,
today as
yeah.
well.
Did you say you've got snow? Yeah.
Yeah, we had like
Have you got?
over a foot. I'm in Maryland. And we're expecting
Yeah,
more.
it come pretty quick here. Yeah, we're hoping it moves on now.
Oh.
Isla's video because the schools are still shut.
Your sound is going in and out for me, Joe.
Mhm.
All right. Take a little bit. Can you hear us now? Right, let's just say bye, yeah.
Yeah, they're
Bye.
frozen.
Yep.
Yo, guys, can you hear us?
Well, it's 10
Hello?
o'clock for me. I need to
Yeah.
roll out and get on with my day. I got a little poem that is brewing here. I'll leave with that. Time is moving forward fast some days. Moving forward. Yesterday is gone. Today won't last forever. Conscious living in today. Which way is the way? That's my choice, as I say, my action of today. Moving forward, can't go back. Action in today. Today is action packed. That's my choice, my way. Bid you peace and love.
Wow.
Wow,
Love and hugs.
amazing.
Bye-bye.
Bye, all. Have a great day. Thank you.
You all have a great day. Love and
Bye-bye.
hugs.
Have fun sledding.
Yeah, have fun sitting. Yeah.
See you guys next.